Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Replayables podcast. My name is John Perez, aka Fortitude. I'm here with the man himself, Hiram Sanchez, aka I'm So Brown, and we're back after wow, like a month plus. Hiram, like, how long has it actually been since we've last recorded
how
episode?
long have we been in quarantine?
Yeah,
that's a good start.
that is true. So, chat, and listeners out there, we started this podcast to be a podcast where we talk about all the old games, all games that we've been playing, games that shape our gaming past, present, and future. And we had a little bit of tease. We did like an episode 1 introduction episode, and then we had our very first game that Hiram chose, which was, what game was it? Uncharted 1, which is part of the Uncharted. Which is cool because they actually just released the Uncharted collection as a free game that you can have right now on PSN. So if you haven't played the Uncharted series, go play it, and then go listen to our first official episode when we reviewed the game. But then after that, so a little thing happened called COVID-19, which made all of us.
Have you heard of this?
Have you
heard of this?
No, I haven't heard of it. I haven't heard of it
yesterday. I was like, what?
Regardless,
quarantine.
No, yeah, it's so true. But honestly, and then we chose a game we were gonna play called The Way Out, which we are still trying to get through. We chose to play it together, which is cool. Which we'll get back to soon, because we need to re-review that game for the podcast. But since we were kind of gone for a while, it not only because of COVID-19, Brown has some news that he wants to share, of course, and then we're going to catch up. This is an episode really about catching up and really about talking to you guys, talking about what we've been playing, talking about this whole situation we have with the whole pandemic, how it's been affecting our lives, how it's been affecting our gaming, how it's been affecting this podcast. And then we'll kind of end the show with what to expect on this podcast from here on out. I know that it's been kind of crazy for you, Hiram. So just kind of recapping everything. How's life been, not only with COVID, but also with the huge news that you have to share tonight?
Right. So I'll just get right into the huge news and get that out of the way. As you can see, I am not in the normal streaming area that I has been for a while, because me and Mr. Brown bought a house.
Yay!
So we bought a house. It's super awesome. We moved in on March 30th. But there was a lot of like stresses, right? Because of this COVID stuff. Like, our title company is going to be open. Is this still going to go through? Am I going to lose my down payment? Like, all sorts of crazy stuff. We were super, super stressed leading up to it. Everything ended up working out fine. We got the paper signed. We got the keys. We got the house. So over the last 2 weeks, we've been doing what, normal people do when they move, is they just bring all their stuff into the basement and open up boxes and throw things away. Decide that actually that should go over there, and move something 18 times, and building new dressers and things of this nature. So we're still kind of in the midst of that. As you can see behind me, I got my workstation over there because we're work from home. We're both work from home. So the original idea was, I get one of the spare bedrooms upstairs.
Nice.
For the office. That's not happening anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I work over here now, and then I have my stream set up, obviously behind the camera here. All things considered, there's nothing to complain about. I mean, we've been super stressed. We've been really tired. Like, we're fortunate enough to be able to work from home and to continue to work. We're healthy. Our families are healthy.
Good.
And it could be a lot worse, and it is a lot worse for a lot of people. So our hearts and prayers would definitely go out to everyone that has to go to work. You know what I mean? Like, right in the front line. So like, keep up the good work. We appreciate you. We stay at home for you.
Hell yeah. I kind of have some questions just about the whole home buying process during this pandemic. What was that all like for you guys? Like, did you have to stay 6 feet away from, your broker?
Yeah.
Did you have to like sign the paper, like pass it down, or like, you wear gloves? How was everything like? Because before even the pandemic hit, or even like during the early days of the pandemic, you guys were looking at houses, traveling around probably your area, looking at different houses, different people. Broker, you have to deal with different I've been through as a home buyer, as a homeowner myself. I know what that process is like. So can you just talk to us a little bit about how that whole process was with this whole pandemic?
Yeah. So it actually kind of snuck up on us. So Katie and I decided that we wanted to go ahead and make a move and sell the condo. Right. My decision was like, hey, let's sell the condo before the election, because right now in the market where we are at, like you can make a ton of money. It's a seller's market, and we knew we were gonna have a challenge trying to find a house, because the houses that we were looking at first, they'd be gone in 12 hours. You'd have to buy it like sight unseen. So we decided that we were going to go ahead and put the house up, or the condo up, on the market well before things came over here and there was lockdown stuff. So we sold the condo in 4 days. It was crazy.
Wow.
And then we were looking for a house for about we were already looking before it sold. But then we were looking for another 3 or 4 weeks, and then we ended up deciding on this one, and then we made an offer, and everything went through. Still no quarantine, still nothing was going on here.
Yeah.
I think we probably did everything as far as like make the offer and do all this other stuff mid-February. So things were in the news, like we were all like, oh, China's crazy, but nothing had come here yet, right? So we had also made, so I sold the condo, but I was able to live there for a week to overlap the move, right? So I didn't have to be homeless for 48 hours. So I closed on the condo on a Tuesday, and then I had 10 days to turn over the keys, but I moved out at 7, right? So there's a 3-day overlap where like I had a chance to like clean up and not be stressed about it. Well, 2 days before we were supposed to close on the condo, the governor of Wisconsin said, hey, 10 people at the most in one area, like, and more's coming, so be careful. I was like, oof. So they had said, hey, only the signers are allowed to be in to close, right? So the seller and the buyer, and then the title company employee.
Right.
And typically your real estate agent's with you and on both sides, and in order to just like try to put out any last minute disagreements or anything like that.
Sure.
The seller was great. We had no problems. We signed away. Cool. I got my money, put it in the bank. And at that point, banks were drive-through only. Like that was when they were like, okay, people were starting to take proactive approaches. They're like, hey, there's no rules yet, but we're shutting it down, So banks,
people were
where we were at were drive-through only at that time. And the lines were freaking insane. I could have never, I've never seen drive-throughs like that, but I was never more happy to have pneumatic tubes. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, bro.
They're pretty dope. So then we were leading up to, we got the money, put it in the bank, and everything went through. We got cleared to close on the house, and we reached out to our real estate agent and said, things are getting pretty crazy, and the people that lived here before were moving to Ohio, and they already got shut down, or they were already like shelter in place at that time. We're like, oh man, what if they don't move? Like, let's see if we can close early. And they were like, nope, we want to close on the 30th. And we're like, oh no. So that weekend before, Governor Evers was like, hey, we locking it down till April 21st or April 24th, and it's only essential workers. And at that time, we didn't know if title companies and real estate agents were deemed essential.
Right.
And so the only thing I had to reference were other states that have done it before me. So Illinois deemed them essential. So I'm like, okay, cool. We touch borders. That's great. But Michigan said no. And I'm like, well, they're really close too. So what's going to happen, So that was on a Friday. I think that was a Thursday, right? And then the governor said, we'll release the details on Friday. I'm like, why did you say anything? Now I got to like lose sleep for 24 hours. It was stressful.
Damn,
Long story short, they were essential. It was fine. When we showed up to close, though, they were like, you have to sign everything in your car. We will bring you the papers.
No way.
Yeah. So we parked, and then the sellers parked, and someone came up to me in gloves with a clipboard with like a stack of papers this big, and they're like, yeah, we're doing in-car title closing now. I'm like,
oh my gosh, bro.
Give me the pen. And it was really cold that day. We were in the car for an hour and a half. The closing for my condo 10 days prior took 20 minutes, right?
Oh my gosh, bro.
It took an hour and a half.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I can't even imagine that, because I remember going to our closing for our house, and it was obviously a big, huge paper. Like you're there for a while. You're signing so many damn documents. Your broker's there. The title company's there. And you have to deal with, like, I guess the sellers, because this was a house that you were buying from someone. I can only imagine doing that in your car. That takes an hour and a half is, all things considered. But when you're just signing things and just like back and forth, dude. That's crazy, bro.
Dude, and say what you want about clipboards, but it is not a substitute for a table.
No,
I could not have ever wanted a table any more in my entire life, because I tried to like, all right, I sign. I'm like, all right, baby, sign. She's like, no, you sign all the papers and then give it to me, and I sign all the papers. I'm like, yeah, I guess that, and just shuffling around.
Wow.
It was a nightmare. And then it didn't even take an hour and a half to sign the papers, right?
Yeah.
We got that shit done in like 20 minutes. Then they just didn't come out. And then I got a call from them inside. They're like, hey, do you have proof of this from like your sale? I'm like, I didn't know I was supposed to bring it.
Wow.
Also, I did that here 10 days ago, so you should have the papers. Like, oh, you did it here? Cool. And I'm like, all right. Another 40 minutes go by. And she goes, sorry for the wait. We had to verify Katie's employment. The mortgage company had to verify the employment. I was like, you guys know that she works for that mortgage company, right? That should have been an easy fix. You guys should have been tripped up looking at Sanchez and be like, I don't know about this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That wasn't that way.
Sure. Wow.
Whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter anymore. We in the house. I'm here. It's great. We love it. We have great neighbors.
Congratulations.
Turns out one of my neighbors streams on YouTube. So
No
we're gonna get those
way.
details
Does
later. Yeah, he does Modern Warfare.
Okay.
It's pretty sweet.
How'd
It's
that
pretty
conversation come out, if you know why?
Because so in front of me, I have windows, right?
Yeah.
So before I had like coverings for the windows.
You're in your
I put up
basement.
all the green screens and all the lights, so anyone can see in and be like, well, what kind of creepy ass porn is that guy recording in his basement?
That's right.
So like all the lights up, and we were outside doing some yard work, and he's like, hey man, like I saw you have a lot of bright lights in there. I'm like, let me explain. Have you heard of Twitch? She's like, dude, I stream on YouTube. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Bro, that's sick, dude. How's every obviously, like, it's been a crazy time, but like, you know, for our listeners here, how's been everything in terms of, you know, being in the house now, setting everything up? Like, what was setting up everything up? You know, how's streaming during the pandemic for you?
Streaming. So I think the thing that's hit hardest is streaming, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's because like when I was in the condo, everything was set, right? I could just go right in my room, stream. I could stream like 4 days a week, and I could stream for really long. It was no big deal. But now in the house, like there's so many things to do. There's so many things to set up. Like, and the condo I bought myself, and then I met Katie. This is like our first joint property, right? So like, I just can't just do things just to get them done. Like it's not a dictatorship, right? It's democracy. So we have to agree on things, and I'm pretty agreeable. But it's just a lot of like you see this red like thing back here. It took me 3 days to decide whether I wanted to build a shelf or buy that shelf. Like those are the kind of things that are bogging me down. In the backyard, I got a mound of dirt because they're building houses behind me, and that caused some erosion damage. I had to figure out how to fix erosion damage and do grass seed. Like those are the kind of things that are taking my time away. I mean, I finally have the stream set up, but like, man, like any kind of extra gaming outside of streaming that I was doing, that is gone.
Yeah,
it's gone, and it's I'm missing it.
It's gonna be like that for a while too, brother. Like I remember the first year you live in your home, it's just like constant things you have to do for the house. Luckily we had ours built, so it's brand new. Not a lot of like things we had to fix, more things we had to just get done within the house, things we wanted to change. I remember we like decided to get cheaper cabinets because we just wanted to, you know, to save a little money so we can paint our own cabinets. Just like so much things. But I get it, dude. Like, you know, for you know, on the flip side, like, dude, it's as I'm sure you know, because you've owned properties before. It's so worth it to be a home buyer. Like, it's
absolutely worth it.
Just think about it, dude. Like coming from like, I think you said you had a condo before this. I mean, I'm sure this house is it? Do you live in a single family or is it another condo?
So this is a single family home.
That's what I'm saying. Like
it's pretty sweet too. It's less than a year old. The people that they bought it, they built it, and they had a job move, so they were in it for less than a year.
Oh my gosh! So it's pretty much brand new. Pretty much brand new. That's
all
incredible,
new appliances,
bro.
All new everything.
Bro.
So
hell yeah.
The biggest hurdle for us was like literally we got a lot of rooms to fill with furniture.
Yeah.
So which thanks COVID for all these online deals, because we were able to fully finish the house for 3,700. And I'm like, let's go.
That's sick, dude. That's sick. But just thinking about like how awesome it is just to walk downstairs and boom, you have your own space. You know, where like before, not a lot of space. You know, I remember we were living in a 1-bedroom before we bought this house, dude. And like I was trying to stream, but it was like in the living room / you know, then I had to move it to the bedroom, and like now I just walk downstairs. You know, I have the whole streaming. This is like my office here. But dude, it's so worth it, and I'm happy for you guys, and it's incredible. and congratulations,
Thank
bro.
you,
Like
thank you.
it's such an amazing thing. All right, so sorry, I have my alert still up.
Yo.
Yo. All right, so let's kind of move on to a different topic here. As I pull up our show notes. Dude, what have you been playing? Like, what have you been playing?
Bro,
Like, I
let's
know that
talk
you're
about
so
what
busy,
we've
but
been
like, yo,
playing.
let's talk about what we've been playing. Like, this is the Replayables podcast. We talk about games we've been playing. Normally, we would review. At this point, we would kind of review or re-review a game. We have set games that we pick every single week that we're going to talk about. Games we love, games that change us, games that we maybe came back to, didn't like. But this week is a little bit different. This is more of a catch-up episode, talking about games we've been playing, streaming, all the above. I'm sure you've been playing some interesting stuff. I know I pop into your streams. I haven't been popping into recently because there's a game that you've been playing that I want to play and I haven't played yet because I have like no time, and there are a couple games that have just taken my life over by storm. But let's start with you, man. What have you been playing, streaming, all the above?
All right, so the one thing that I had to try to the main reason why I got my stream set up so quickly was there's this little remake game called Resident Evil 3 Remake that came out. And I don't like scary games, but I play them for my stream because I get very scared easily.
Because the content, baby, the content, baby.
And like when the soundboard works, I put scary sounds in there. Otherwise, I just turn up the sounds really loud so they scare me with bits and stuff. So it's a good time for everyone. And then I like to do a little compilation movies of like 32 jump scares in like 1 minute or whatever. So playing that game, I finished in about 5 hours. I had never played Resident Evil 3 before ever. And I kind of liked it. I liked it a little bit more than Resident Evil 2.
Okay, really?
Remake.
Interesting.
And the reason that I liked it more is because I didn't get scared as much. But when I'm looking back at like the story and like the puzzles and the actual like the journey in 2 is much stronger than it is in 3. In 3 it's basically like you got a grenade launcher, you good.
Interesting.
Like you just boom, 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 boom. You shoot everything. But I guess I would say it should be played. Everyone should go play it. But if you wait till it drops to like $30,
interesting.
The price point should have been $30 for that game.
Okay.
It really should have. I think that although Resident Evil 2 did have about the same time for the story mode, you did get the opportunity to get it from a second perspective. From Claire, and that's kind of like a replay, so I guess that's okay for $60. But this one, like, I finished it and I didn't have like the wow, like as much as I hate being scared, I still really like the game as I did with Resident Evil 2. So this is a very much a $30 price point for me. So if you guys can wait till Wario 64 tweets out, yo, it's $30, and then go get that.
So
you know
were
I mean?
you weren't wowed by it? What were you not wowed by it because of 2? Because I remember playing. I think 2 needs to be on our list, by the way. I remember playing 2. So I've actually never played any of the original Resident Evils except for the first one because I was like a little kid, but it was too scary for me as a little kid.
Yeah,
2 I played a little bit of as a kid. 3 I remember playing. I remember just like watching someone else play because you're actually in a city that time. And then 4, 5, 6 I played. 7 I played. And then I went back and played 2 recently. I remember 2 playing 2 for the first time when they, updated the graphics. That was like last year, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember loving like every single second of it. I remember how awesome it was. 3, and then I guess like when they announced they were doing 3, I remember being so excited. But for some reason, I'm not that excited to. I'm not that excited. I'm still excited to play it, but I'm not like rushing out to play it. Because I feel like I just played 2 and I've got my Resident Evil fix. For you, were you not wowed by it or like going off the top of the mountain for it because you played 2 and 2 was so good for you? Or
I think you're onto something there, only because when they released that RE engine, they're showing it. I'm like, oh my god, this is the coolest. The lighting here is amazing. This is the coolest thing ever. And I will note that I played Resident Evil 2 on Xbox, and I played Resident Evil 3 Remake on PC.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
So I tried maxing out the settings on my PC.
How'd it go?
And this was the first game that kicked on the extra fans and got me worried. So I knocked it back down a little bit. But the game looked beautiful.
Great.
The one thing I will say, with no spoilers, obviously,
Yeah.
even though it's the same story. One thing I did appreciate about number 3 or Resident Evil 3 remake is that after playing Resident Evil 2 so soon, there are points in that game where you are playing 2 different characters, right? So the main character is
cool.
Jill,
I like that.
and then you also play Carlos, and it's like a story that's interwoven, like, oh, something bad happens, and they're like, well, 3 hours earlier, and then you get to play a little bit from Carlos's perspective. Carlos goes back to the police department from Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
And it's the exact same layout. So if
Cool.
you recently have played 2, you're like, oh my God, I already know this place. And everything's in the exact same place, right? And so now you obviously don't get access to the entire police department. You obviously you don't have to get all the keys to get through everything, but there's a little bit of that, enough to go, man, I was just here. That was really cool. You know what I mean? And then when you go further, you actually go down to the medical facility. And that is also very familiar. And you're like, oh man, that's kind of cool. Like seeing it from a different perspective in a different like timeline. So I appreciated that a lot, being that I just played Resident Evil 2 so soon.
Yeah.
So
how are the city parts? Like is it more open, or is it still very like linear hallways basically?
It's extremely linear. I found myself not getting turned around in this game. I felt like it was very straight path. If I did do some backtracking, it was to get a shotgun or is to unlock something. There's only twice in that game where I got turned around so bad that like I went in circles a little bit.
You're trying to figure out where to go. I remember that happening.
But otherwise, like my best guess was the correct path every time.
Cool.
Yeah, because there was I like that only because I wanted to get through the game really quickly. But if you fully immerse yourself and you're like a Resident Evil fan, I would say that's like a minus. I would say that's probably a deterrent.
I remember in Resident Evil 2, there was a little bit of that, but there was definitely one section where I had to figure, like, where the hell am I going? Like, where the hell do I go? What am I missing here? I'm sure Resident Evil 3 has those moments. I'm a little, I don't know what I expected. I thought the city parts would be kind of cool because it is a city and I feel like it would be more open, but I guess it's just Resident Evil. It's like a hallway, you know, there's one thing you do, there's a straight path. It's pretty easy to guess where to go in Resident Evil games, which I don't really find that as a negative, just because like I do like my story games a little more linear nowadays because of the time crunch that we both have as an adult. Unless I'm playing like
baby mode.
I know, unless we're playing like The Witcher or like something like that, we know that that's like in the game. Last question: how, without giving anything away, just because like I still haven't played like a minute of it. I'm so excited. I want to finish the game that I'm going to talk about first, and then I'm sure we'll talk about other things. But how is Nemesis in the game? How that scares the out of me, dude. Like Nemesis.
I was scared at first.
Compare him to Mr. X. Compare him to Mr. X from Resident Evil 2 for sure.
Compared to Mr. X, he's more annoying, but not in a scary way. I found Mr. X way more terrifying. And,
100%, yeah.
And Nemesis, he's annoying because he's got these tentacles that he shoots out at you, and he like teleports, and he was just like just an annoying little bitch. He would like just show up places with like, hey, I'm going to tentacle you, and then you like beat him a little bit, and then you're like, oh, like now I got this gun, and now I have this better gun, and now I morphed into this thing, and it's like, by the time I did the final encounter to kill him, I was like, are you joking me?
Yeah.
This is okay. We could have been done with this. And it got to the point where like when I reached the final encounter, it was, I just didn't care. You know, it wasn't the same kind of payoff that I had with Mr. X. Mr. X was scary because you would hear his footsteps, but you didn't see him. You know, he'd be around and he could run into you at any moment. But when Nemesis was up, he was there. You knew exactly. And some of those Nemesis moments were very Uncharted-like, where it was just like they zoomed out and you were in a hallway and you just had to like dodge the boxes. You know? And it was like almost like a quick time event.
Interesting.
Which was cool the first time, but by the third or fourth time, I was like, oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm still very excited.
So again, still play the game. The game is good. Yeah. But if you had to like put it up next to two wins.
Interesting.
On, like being scarier and all these things. So.
They just announced they are remaking 4, which is going to be
never played 4.
So amazing.
I've never played 4.
That's the game where I think Resident Evil made a 90-degree angle turn, where it was still Resident Evil, but it was something different, and you felt that. You know, it was that number 4 is the game that number 2 and 3, like basically like there was no such thing as like the remakes. You know, 4 was the golden standard, and then after 4 happened, they went back and obviously they had like, you know, 5, 6, 7, but then they remade 2 and 3. The reason why they made 2 and 3 is because of 4. Like without 4, 2 and 3 would not. The remakes for 2 and 3 would not exist.
Right.
So very excited to see that. Leon is still the best character in the Resident Evil universe. You know, fight me on that one. But we'll see how that turns out.
I won't fight you. I'll agree with you.
We'll see. I have been playing a bunch of games.
You have.
Still trying to beat The Witcher, bro. I love that game so much. I don't want it to end, but at the same time,
are you doing all the side quests? Are you just doing all the things?
I'm at the end of the game. So I'm on the quest where you have to do the final preparations, which is, you know, I mean, I think we can spoil it at this point. The game is like however long old.
I mean, it came out in 2015.
Yeah, just don't spoil the ending or anything like that. I'm still not there yet, but I'm at the end where you have to do your final preparations. You know, I just went to the boat and saved Fringilla off the Emperor's ship. I'm trying to find the Sunstone, I think is what it's called. And so I have to be at the end, man. Like I remember there was a point where you had to go fight the what's his name? Not the king of the Night's Hunt, but the other guy, the like commander of the Night's Hunt with Ciri, and like they were like just as or like even before that when the Night's Hunt attacked Kaer Morhen, like they're like I thought we were getting close, man, and there's like another like 20 hours to go,
so
dude. I have to be close. Am I close?
So have you seen? You have Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
I have. Yep. There's like 15 million.
Do you remember how the ending was 45 minutes long and you thought it was ending every 10 minutes?
Sure.
That's how The Witcher ends.
Okay.
So I also thought like, hey, the last stand is at the castle. Everyone's here.
Yep.
Like we set all the traps up.
Yep.
We're going to do this. Oh my gosh, look at all this drama with Ciri. Oh, here it is. Oh, there's more. Okay, cool. You do that and you're like, yeah, nope.
Wow.
There's still more. It's going to happen to you. They're going to debate you on that at least 3 more times. You were not close to the end. I would say from that battle, you probably still have the way that you play. You probably have at least 8 hours. You probably have 8 hours.
I mean, I have to find the Sunstone. I just came back from like checking out Avalok's laboratory. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Am I close? Kind of.
Is that where
I'm on Skellige.
On an island?
I'm on Skellige. And I have to find the Sunstone, basically. The Sunstone I don't know.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
All I know is that from the castle battle, you still probably.
I'm way past the castle. I'm way past the castle battle. I'm way past the castle battle. I think I'm like.
Okay.
I think I'm like at least probably 5 to 6 to 7 hours past that castle battle, like 100%.
You got down on the boat where it stops you and say, "Hey, if you continue on this mission, you cannot go back."
I think I might be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
From there, you're starting to get to a point where you can maybe consider yourself within a certain reasonable distance between all. So.
Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. I'm just gonna go beeline. I'm not doing any more side quests, and the reason why I'm not doing any side quests is because I've already done all the side quests. Let's go,
nice, dude.
Bro. I
Dude.
literally played that. Yeah,
that.
bro. I literally play that game like trying to 100% it. I don't think I will because I think there's some stuff that I don't want to do. Like I don't want to play the card games. Like I'm just not gonna do the side
Gwent,
quests.
dude. Here, this is for Gwent right here. Are you serious? I can never get. I downloaded the app on the. I'm gonna play Gwent on my free time. I'm gonna be so good at this. Nope, I don't get it.
I'm not playing
Gwent,
dude. I'm just not. It makes sense to me, but it just doesn't appeal to me. Like I just don't want to play that game. I don't want to do any of the side quests to play that game. So I've been playing The Witcher. That's the single player game that I've been playing. So the way that I game is I usually have like at least one single player game going, and then I have my normal go-tos that are just multiplayer games that are easy to play. So I want to get through The Witcher because I want to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know you're playing that tomorrow or this week for sure. I want to play Resident Evil. I think I'm going to play Resident Evil first before I play Final Fantasy because I know Final Fantasy is another kind of long ass RPG that you kind of have to bunker down and get. I think Resident Evil is more of a straight shot from listening to how you talk about it. I think I can get that done. I think I probably get that done in like 1 or 2 sittings for sure. And then Resident Evil. And then there's a bunch of games that I want to go back and replay. Good thing with this COVID-19 thing is like we're all at home and we all have to find things to pass our time. I want to play so many damn different games. I want to play Days Gone. I want to go back to. I haven't played that game
that's
yet.
a good one. I never finished that. I got really far.
I still haven't played Spider-Man, which is like always. I feel that itch every time, bro. Bro, I feel that itch every single time. I mean, because it's another freaking long ass game that I don't really have the time for. Like, you know, for
we'll replay it for the podcast sometime in the future here.
But mostly I've just been playing Destiny. I as crazy as that game is, and as long as that game's been out, it still calls me to play it a lot. Dude, I'm gonna be real with you though. I haven't felt this much burnout in Destiny since like pre-Forsaken. And I'm one of the most hardcore Destiny players in the world. You know this, along with many others. A lot of people have dropped out from the game since these past couple season pass things have come out. But it just feels like it's just totally wrong now of what they're doing to that game. There's rampant cheating on PC for PvP especially. So I've actually done a lot of research in terms of their anti-cheat software. I've actually made the decision to not play PvP on PC anymore because I don't agree with their anti-cheat software, which is basically running on a tattletale system. I have a whole Twitter thing about it.
That would arguably not be a cheat system, anti-cheat system.
I mean, apparently they're saying that they have more, but I just don't believe them at all until they can fix that, or until they talk about it and be transparent about it. I've decided not to play PvP on PC, so I've actually been playing a lot of Destiny on PS4, and it's been not that fun because of the 30 frames a second and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's the same time I'm like, you know, we're both big Kind of Funny fans, and one of the things they say on Kind of Funny all the time is you vote with your wallet. Well, I'm voting with my playtime. Like I'm refusing to play PvP on PC. Just until they're transparent about it, until they fix it. It just hasn't. I just can't believe that you're a AAA developer, even though you say you're indie because you're not part of Activision anymore, that you don't have an anti-cheat system in place. You know, it's very frustrating as a hardcore Destiny player. Anytime you have cheaters in your game, dude, I feel like no one is gonna take your game serious until you take care of the cheaters. Like. I mean, if you look at like another example is Warzone. You love Warzone. You've been playing Warzone. Apparently, there's rampant cheating on Warzone on PC. And today they've taken a stand, and I think they just banned 70,000 accounts.
I saw that tweet. I took a break from Warzone too, because I was like, I was having a lot of fun, and then cheaters were kind of ruining it. And
did you run into cheaters,
plenty
Brown?
of other things going on, so I can take a break till they fix it.
Were you playing Warzone on PC, Brown?
Yes.
Did you see cheaters or not really?
I kind of played with like the beginning parts when the cheaters started coming in, where I started noticing people were hitting shots that should not have been hit, or they were taking a lot more damage than they should have. And I'm like, and then the one thing that was really rampant in the last few times that I played it was people teleporting. People were teleporting all over the map. Like you shoot a dude and then they'd appear over here and you'd be dead. Like you'd be dead and then they'd appear. And I'm like, what? Well, come on, dude. So that kind of soured it for me, and I was taking a break. But if I just want to go back to Destiny real quick.
Yeah.
I love Destiny 2 as well.
Yeah, you're a huge Destiny fan.
I've taken long breaks away from them when the content's been too dry, or I've gotten upset because taking King Raid just pissed me off so much. But anyway. I don't know. I've not played pretty much this season. I started this season and I was like, okay, let's check out Warmind. Let's see what's going on here. I saw what was happening. I tried it and I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I am 100% out, and I'm now out until further notice. Sure. And you're way more PvP than I am. Yeah. I play a lot of PvE just solo. I like to just run around the world and just grind things out. Yeah. I'll just solo queue into Gambit. I'm one of those weird dudes. I'll solo queue into Gambit and have a lot of fun with Gambit.
You're brave, dude. You're brave.
And man, I cannot think of a time where Destiny's been this boring since the end of Destiny 1. That long dry period right before they revamped all the raids. And I was just like, dude, they urge you to take breaks. I'm gonna take a break, and I'm also gonna take a break from your season pass, because the only time I've actually had fun with the seasons that I've played so far this season is when I've waited for the whole thing to come out, and right as it's ending or the next one comes up, I go back and do all that content at once.
Yeah.
I understand that they're trickling it out so then people don't burn through the
Yeah.
content in 2 or 3 weeks, and then they're like, well, now there's nothing to do. But that's like how I like to consume that content, because that game is so grindy that let me just consume it all and just do it all in 3 weeks, so then I can play other games and then come back to this.
I agree.
But now the carrot that they're dangling in front of everyone is not sufficient enough. And to top that, for this season, your main thing this season was PvP. You brought trials back. People have been asking for trials for years. You had all this time to perfect it, and it sounds like you took most of this time to try out different modes to see if the original mode was the mode that you should bring back, and that's what you've determined. But how could you not see the cheating on PC? You had all of this time. You tell me, I mean, I'm not trying to be too mean, and the only reason like I'm this critical is because I love the game and I love and I love everything about it, and that's why I'm upset about it. But like, come on, guys. Like, it's one of those things where like you have asked for forgiveness for missteps too many times. At this point, I'd rather you just be like, we're going silent because we are going to fix these things, and we'll let you know when it's done, and then just do it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Stuff like this makes me feel like we should now start getting closer to Destiny 3 and just start a complete redo, separate from Activision. But anyway, I went on that rant for too long.
No. It's a good rant to have, because I feel like a lot of the community feels the way that you feel, you know, and at the same time, like, dude, it's totally fine to take a break. Like, the game is gonna be there, the content's gonna be there, but at the same time, like taking a break is good because it tells the developer like that they still have room to improve. And I don't know what's going on with Bungie. You know, I am also at the same time, like, we're during this pandemic, whatever, you know, I'm sure they can't really do a lot of things they want to do now. But at the same time, like, dude, I totally agree with you, man. Like, the content for PvE players especially has been so dry. And like, even trials, you know, people have been wanting trials forever. Please bring it back the way we wanted it, blah, blah, blah. And even trials has been kind of a misstep because the rewards, bro, are not that positive, honestly.
That's what I hear. And I hear people farming these coins,
farming tokens.
These people that are like very high tier, they're constantly matching up against people that are trying it out. It completely discourages the population or like any new people in there. So you only have the same tryhards kicking out the noob. No one likes to get stomped over and over again.
100%.
Get stomped until you get good, but like there was a better way to do it. I don't have all the answers, but all of this was pre-COVID, so you can't tell me that COVID ruined it.
Right, exactly. And you know, and they've talked about trying to change some things with trials and trying to change some things with stuff coming out. And apparently the new DLC from the fall DLC, that's the big one every year, got leaked. It sounds really cool, bro. I don't know if you saw it. Check it out when you have a chance.
No, I didn't know it leaked at all.
It looks incredible, dude. It looks incredible. There's going to be a new subclass. We're going to be fighting the darkness this time. We'll see if it's...
so we're actually going to get back to the story?
We'll see. Dude, first, okay, so, like, dude, without giving... I don't even have to way too much, but...
This is the Destiny podcast
dude, bro, hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Destiny podcast. Dude, when the final bunker came out last past week, literally was one cutscene with Zavala, and Zavala saw like a hologram of all the pyramid ships coming through to Earth, and he's like, "Oh crap, it's going down." So that was like in that 5 minutes was the most story building I've seen like two years, bro. But anyway,
what's going on with Aldrin? Where did he go?
Hey, we'll see, man.
He woke up. He's a guardian. What's happening?
We'll see. I've also been playing a tiny game that no one's watching right now called Valorant. It's a new...
What's this Valorant game?
I don't know if you've seen it. It's like 2.4 million watchers on freaking Twitch right now. It's kind of crazy.
That's not enough to grab my attention. Call me when it's at 5 million.
Yeah, exactly. That's a little bit of a number. So
I've been liking it, man.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Like, I never played... I talked about this. I've been talking about this on stream a lot. I've never played CSGO before. And if you don't know, Valorant is Riot Games' first attempt at an FPS shooter. Riot Games is the developer behind League of Legends, and so they've never done any type of game like this. For those who don't know what Valorant is, I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this, listening to this, know what it is. But for those who don't, Valorant is a CS:GO type FPS shooter mixed with Overwatch abilities and characters. And so while the shooting is like CS:GO, it's very slow pace. There's no such thing as like sprinting. You can like run but people will hear you, so it's kind of at a disadvantage. So when you're you literally like walk around corners, and you like just you literally stay in a spot and peek that corner, and that you're there for a while. There's an attacking side and a defending side. You're defending a couple points, either 1 or 2 or 3 points, where they're trying to plant the bomb and then as a defending team, we've seen this before, right? The cool part about it is the Overwatch abilities. So they call them agents or operatives, have different abilities. Some of them give you information, some of them slow you down, some of them can smoke a spot so you can't see anything, and some of them are straight up attack OP. Rocket launch. They have their ults are like a super rocket launcher. It's weird. It's weird because like most abilities and ultis are like very support heavy base, and there's one operative that's like really OP because hers is just like she has a rocket launcher that has a huge AoE damage, which is kind of crazy. Regardless, I never played that kind of game before. It took a lot of adjustment. It's safe. Like I normally think that I'm pretty good at FPS shooters. I am like not very good at this game. It's a very steep learning curves because I haven't played CS:GO, but at the same time, like it's one of those games. And you stopped by my stream yesterday, and you were like, I don't know if this is my type of game. And I also said kind of the same thing because the reason why I didn't play CS:GO is because I knew it was not my type of game. Playing this game though, like it's one of those games where you can watch it and it's a little bit boring because you are just like very slowly walking around corners, and you have to stop it. There's no such thing as like walking and shooting at the same. You literally have to stay still and shoot. If you don't stay still and shoot, your gun's gonna go all over the place. Like it's very boring to watch in a lot of different ways. At the same time, dude, when you play it, bro, it is so much fun. Have you played Bloodborne or Demon Souls or any of those games?
No.
Okay,
no,
so I'm sure you've played a game where like there's a steep learning curve, and like you really had to teach yourself the game, or the game. You had to teach yourself in the game, and when you finally did something in the game, it felt so satisfying. That's what this game is, man. Every time you get a kill, it's a huge shot of dopamine into your brain, dude. You like feel so accomplished because kills are so hard to come by. Like unless
that reminds me of like how I felt when I was playing Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay,
that's kind of like
that's kind of like Soulsy.
It's not just button mash.
Exactly.
You actually had to parry. You had to like take your time.
Exactly,
you had to,
bro.
Actually learn the fight, do the dance in order to win. And if you fuck up, it punished you. Like you're dead, and you lose all your XP and all. And that kind of stuff typically is not an I'm so around game.
Yeah.
I'm definitely willing to try it. The only thing that's really holding me back from I haven't even attempted to try to get a code for this game just because of everything going on. But if it's too much like Overwatch, I'm out.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is like big shout out to Cax. Thank you so much. He bought me Overwatch and said, "Hey, if I get you this until you play with me," I was like, "Yeah." We got to play it, and I was like, "Dude, I don't like this game.
Okay,
I don't. It's part of it is the speed and then the walking. It just takes me back to Uncharted 1, and I'm like, why can't I run? You know what I mean? And it's not, and I know the game is designed that way, right?
Sure.
It's not that the game is broken. That's not the case. It's not designed to be played that way. It's designed to be different. And I think that if I like force myself to do it, I could probably get around to doing it. But like, I just, oh man, like I get so frustrated because, I want to do the slide shotgun, or I want to do, just anything else that you do in Destiny, or you would do
Warzone,
like
right?
Warzone or anything like that. But that being said, some of the stuff that I've watched in your stream, it looks fun. Like it looks cool. I like the graphics, the aesthetics. They look really awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like when you remove the running situation, again, all of these opinions of mine I've never played this game.
Yeah.
You have to talk to your team. You have to work as a team.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like it's very much like you can't just lone wolf that.
No.
You need to talk to people.
The reason, I mean, I think that's the biggest key. Like, I think that's why I love this game so much, because for me, Overwatch, I like Overwatch, but Overwatch never grabbed me because I felt like Overwatch was too ability based instead of shooting based, because Overwatch is technically like a hero shooter, just like this game is, but Overwatch to me is more ability based and less, and probably like high tier Overwatch players would disagree with me, but at the lower tier, I feel like Overwatch is not really, you don't really have to play as a team that well, like in terms of like I can do my own thing if I want to, And then on the flip side, CS:GO is very like shooting base / information base, where I think this game is the happy medium. You have your abilities that will really be good, but most of them aren't. And then you have your shooting, you have your shooters, your shooting part of the game, which you have to be good at. But I feel like this game is the happy medium. Like you have your shooting, you have your abilities, but most of it, dude, is information and talking and working as a team. And it feels so good. It feels so good when you like when you're talking to your team and the whole team is like, all right, they're all at A, and then I take the long flank all the way around. And granted, I'm walking or I'm right. running. I am running because there is walk. Okay. There is walking in this game. Because you have to like walk in order for them to not hear your footsteps. But like when I run and then I know they're around the corner, I just walk and it's just like 1, 2, 3 kills. And it just feels so, there's something about this game where like, it's just so satisfying. It really does. I think it just gives you a shot of like that like happiness. Like when like the satisfaction of like knowing that you actually did something and you actually helped your team out by doing that thing. Where I think Overwatch does not do that. I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. I think a lot of people are enjoying it. You know, we'll see if it lasts, if this hype keeps lasting as long as, you know, as other games do. But for now, it's fun.
So tell me about this beta. Like you got this code. How long is this beta going on? Is this like a Fortnite situation where it's in forever beta, or is it like, hey, we're doing this for a couple weeks and then we're gonna do the full release?
I think the way I understand it is that the beta is indefinite. Because I follow them on Twitter. I follow like the news sites on Twitter. They're planning to have a ranked mode coming out soon in the beta. Right now it's just like casual mode. They are going to have a ranked mode soon, which is cool. From what I understand, it's just indefinite right now. I know that they said they had a summer 2020 release, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just one of those games that's just in early access.
Now it's out.
Yeah, now it's out. But it's surprising though. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they said, okay, beta's over. We'll see you in like a couple months, which would be, I think a lot of people would be sad because this game is just taking over the world by storm. How you get a beta key is you have to watch at first it was like a couple streamers that had like drops enabled for this game. Now it's everybody has drops for this game. So like as long as you watch a person, no matter how big or small, that is playing Valorant, you're eligible to get a beta key, which is really, really cool.
That's super smart.
Yeah.
That's such a clever, cool way to do it.
Yeah.
It's not like
hell
saying
yeah.
that like, hey, we only 50,000 and once we cap, you're out. It's like, no, everyone can have one, but we're actually going to boost our Valorant numbers by making everyone that doesn't have one watch our game.
Yeah, it's crazy because like
smart.
It's so like they've absolutely destroyed marketing out of the sky in this game, because at first they had a closed beta or a closed alpha just with popular streamers, and then a week later they had like an NDA where they couldn't talk about it. A week later they the NDA lifted and all the streamers were going crazy and they're saying, hey, check out on April 7th we're going to be playing Valorant, and you can get a beta key just by watching our stream. And then that's when the world kind of like took it over by storm. I think Summit, do you know Summit 1G? Like Summit,
yeah,
the streamer?
I follow him. I watch him every once in a while.
Dude, he had over 270,000 people watching his stream for Code. It was insane. Tim the Tap Man had 120,000 for like 8 hours straight. It was crazy.
Wow.
And like, yeah, the numbers are inflated because everyone does want a key. But at the same time, dude,
still, that's very impressive.
Riot has been killing it because number one, they want people who are dedicated to watching and playing their game to actually get the key. They don't just want a random person to like just to try it out. They want people who are dedicated. Number two, they did a really great thing where they made it drops enabled for everyone now, which just like helps out everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And number three, they're constantly making their player base, like they're constantly like opening up more and more every single day. Like where like they're doing it smart rather than have everyone just rush in at once and then boom, you're like, we're gonna be like, take Destiny, we're gonna let everyone in at once, boom, servers are down for 8 hours.
Oh, weird.
You know what
servers don't work. That's weird.
I never played League of Legends. I don't know Riot Games that well. But it just seems like they're on the ball with this one, you know.
But I've heard of this League of Legends game though. I hear there's a couple people that still play this thing.
Maybe just a little
Just
bit.
a couple.
Anything else? So anything else you've been playing lately that you want to talk about before we end the show here?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay. Real quick, how was that?
So it's really good. I chose to play as Cassandra.
Yep.
And I'm trying to rush through it, but at the same time, I'm not rushing through it.
Yeah.
I like that game right now is like my safety net. Like when I need something in between, I just go there, do a couple missions, put it down, come back to it. And it's fantastic. The graphics are great. The story is hilarious and awesome. I just keep wanting to just explore more, and I haven't even uncovered probably 40% of the map yet. My fear is that this is one of those games that like you can definitely go down the rabbit hole, do all the side quests. But even if you main path this game, I think you're still looking at least 22 hours.
Yeah,
possibly 30.
Sure.
I know someone that watches my stream, a buddy of mine, Gold. He said he spent like 100 hours in 1 week, like in like a week, just to knock it all out, and he almost got it done. I'm like, oh my gosh,
wow,
it's a Witcher situation. So the fear I have is if I start another game that's a little long, that I'll put this down. And you ever have that where like I'm gonna come back to it and you don't, and when you finally do, you forget how to play it and you don't know where you are, and you're to a point you're like, man, I gotta start this game over, but I'm already 12 hours in.
That's Persona 5.
So I'm forcing myself to play a couple hours a week of that, but I'm enjoying it. I really like it a lot. It's great. Lately I've been playing Titanic music when I sail out of my boat into the ocean. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome. That's
so
really
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, but other than that, I started Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. So you never played Final Fantasy VII? The original?
I have never played Final Fantasy VII ever. I don't know anything about it except for the big spoiler.
Wait, you got it spoiled?
Well, I mean, I know about a death of a character, and to be fair, I've known about the spoiler for years because I've seen it in memes and stuff, and I'm like, but I don't understand the context, right? I know that it's probably one of the most important parts of the story. That character that action or whatever probably held a lot of weight in the story, and I think it was a surprise to the audience when they first played it, like because I think it was a sharp left turn, and I don't think that video games at the time did sharp left turns like that. So I think that's why it was really memorable. Again, never played it. I'm totally assuming. I don't know what's going on. I'm about 1.5 hours in. I did the first encounter, and
very cool.
I don't know if I like it.
Okay.
I don't like turn-based RPGs. I don't like JRPGs.
It's not, so are you playing it turn-based, or are you playing it the action-y way?
No, I'm playing the action-y way.
Okay.
But there's because
there's an option. There is an option to play the old school way, I think.
Yeah, I did not go that way. I wanted the action-y route. Cool. So I'm playing through it. I finished the stream. I got through that encounter. It took forever, and I was like, dude, I don't know if I have 30 hours of this in me.
Yeah.
But then I went to bed, and then I started dreaming about it. And I woke up, and I was like, you know what? I'm the idiot. If I would recognize that this dude with the handgun actually had the magic to heal me, but then I could also give him this that will help him do that. Then I started strategizing in my head. I was like, wait, this is how I could use the party to like, and I haven't started upgrading anything yet. So I'm excited to go back in there. I just need to be more patient with it. I think that if I'm patient with it by hour 5 or 6 and I understand it, I'm actually going to really like it.
Yeah.
The game is gorgeous.
Yeah. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing
phenomenal.
I'm hearing the soundtrack too.
I've been asking chat. I'm like, is the dialogue exactly the same? Is the music the same? Like, I know that one of the biggest sells for this is such the nostalgia factor of going back and revisiting it.
Yeah.
And this game, to my understanding, isn't even the full game. This is they took like maybe a third of it, and this is the first third of the entire story.
Yeah, I would say yes. Probably a third of it is probably because I know the rest of the game, and I know the parts that are in this part. This is literally just Midgar, is what I assume, which is the first city that you're in, which is a huge part of the game. But yeah, I would say probably like a third of the game, 100%. If that's a third of the game, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
I'm having a hard time understanding what the point of anything is in the game, though.
Okay.
I mean, I'm getting the gist that I've been hired to work with these people to be a terrorist.
Yeah.
And things didn't go right, but we accomplished the mission of blowing up some reactor that shoots green light that apparently is the lifeblood of this planet.
Yeah,
that's all I have. and
Yeah.
I'm trying to be patient with that as well.
Yeah.
But
It takes a minute. It
that's
takes
all I
a
got.
minute.
Okay.
It does take a minute to figure out what's going on in the story. Even as a kid, I never understood it. I only understood the story until I was like in college, like post college. Because this is one of my favorite games. Like for context sake, this is one of my favorite games of all time. It's probably my top three, if not my top two. I'm very excited, looking forward to playing it. The only reason why I haven't played it is because I have other games and other obligations to do first. But I remember going back. I think I recently played this maybe 2 years ago, 1 or 2 years ago. No, and I finally like as an adult, I finally understood. Like, oh, that was the story of the game. It's a blank type of game. All right. So it does. I will say, like, it is confusing at first, but once plot points start happening and like unfolding, you're gonna be like, okay, I get the story now. Like, I understand what kind of game this is now. So it does take a minute. So yeah, excited to see.
I don't know if I want to just only stream it and play it all the way through and power through and just not divert from it. It's just so I can continuously play it.
Yeah.
Or if I wanted to juggle that and one other game. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to try to force myself to finish the game. I think that I just need to stop being a baby about it. But the game looks great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play more, and I'm excited to talk about as I go further in the game on the podcast.
Cool. I'm excited.
So yeah.
I'm excited. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the show. We want to talk about kind of like what we're going to be doing from here on out. I think Hiram definitely agrees with me. We definitely want to keep the podcast going. This is a thing that we're both really committed to, that we're both really excited for still. We have a couple games that I think we want to talk about. What do you, I guess this is our first time talking about this. What do you see of this? What do you want this to be, I guess, moving forward? Because we started A Way Out. I definitely want to play that with you and finish that with you. And I definitely want to talk about that because that's a game that we talked about before this whole pandemic happened. But at the same time, like, I've been thinking in my head of like, maybe we shouldn't play games that are like this because it's very hard. We're both very busy. We both have responsibilities that we have to do. Maybe we just pick games that we've already played and we can just like talk about it like just like that, rather than I have to wait for you to finish the game. And then not only that, but I have to wait for you to finish the game with me because we started it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this game presented a unique challenge that I didn't even anticipate, only because like our schedules are so different. I mean, you're your dad, you got family responsibilities, work responsibilities, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we're not even in the same time zone, so it's actually a little bit more difficult than I thought to line up the stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think that moving forward, I mean, I like the concept. I think we should maybe entertain the original idea. However, I think we need to be conscious about like game size, and we need to be able to play it by ourselves or with other people in order to get the content we need in order to fill time on the podcast.
For sure.
So I don't know if you want to try to like just finish A Way Out this weekend, or if you want to pick a different game and then we can just stream it. I'm okay either way. My main priority and the main concern I have is to get this podcast back on track.
Yeah.
I would love to get a setup so then I could live stream it and actually even just dedicate one of my stream nights just to this.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
And then get this back on Apple. So that's what I want to do. I want to get it back on track so we can be more consistent on something like this.
I think so. Here's my thought. I think we should put A Way Out on hold. I don't think I have time for that game because again, like I want to finish that game with you so bad, but I also want to give it its due diligence.
Right.
So I think that what we should do is we should put that game on hold for a different episode, a different time. And I think we should be proactive and just like, hey, are you free right now? Do you want to play some Way Out? We'll knock out an hour. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually when we finish that game together, we can talk about it. And when that comes, that comes. But I think for now, I think what we should do is let's pick a game that we both played or that, you know, that we're very familiar with. We could talk about it for an hour for sure. And let's just do that from here on out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm down.
So, yeah. Cool. Sounds good. Anything else, Brown? Anything else to talk about that you wanted to talk about while I'm here?
I'm just excited to have everything set up. I'm excited to be on the podcast and figuring out how to live stream this is really cool. Just excited to talk about games, man. I mean, I just like talking about games.
I do too.
I'm excited to kind of be back, you know what I mean? And I just want to get back into a routine where I can start playing games with friends, because all the games I've been doing have been solo, which is great. I love single player games, but there's something to be said to be able to like shoot someone in the face and be like, oh, did you see that? Because they were just right there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well,
So I'm excited to get back into that.
Hell yeah.
But happy that everyone here is safe. I'm assuming everyone on your end is good too. And I hope that is the case.
Yeah.
You know, keep washing those hands. You know what I mean?
Huge, yeah. Keep washing them hands. Huge shout out to essential workers. By the way, I know we talked about it in the beginning of the show, but like honestly, without you guys, like we would all die. Like other than from
Straight
COVID,
up.
like we would all die. So thank you so much to all essential workers. For those who are working, doing the good job, you're doing great. We appreciate you. You know, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. Guys, go look up COVID relief funds. Go look up COVID nonprofit things that you can donate to. Please donate. Do your due diligence. See what you can do to help out everyone in the world. Because listen, guys, we are in this together. Like whether we like it or not, we're all that we have. What was I gonna say? At the same time, like practice social distancing. Please be responsible in the things that you do. When you go out, like
please.
In our county, I'm sure this is starting to happen statewide. In our county, like you literally have to wear a mask now is mandatory by our governor. But just make sure you're aware of what rules and regulations are in place with this pandemic in your area, and just be responsible by practicing social distancing and washing your hands, and don't freaking touch that face, or else I'm So Brown will come and punch you in the face.
I'll punch you in the face.
He'll punch you in the face. Therefore, you don't have to touch your face. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been episode 3 of the Replayables podcast. My name is John Perez, aka Fortitude. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can also follow I'm So Brown. I am S0 Brown on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram. And please follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/I'm So Brown, twitch.tv/Fortitude. And you can listen to this podcast on Google Play, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Also on Anchor, all the above. And anything else to say, Brown, before we go?
Nah, man, be good to each other. Wash your hands and wear that mask, all right?
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
See ya.